YouTube, what is going on? Finally, now that the CDL is over, I'm able to bring you guys coaching videos again. I have a lot more time on my hands to record. We just got done with an 8-hour stream, and now here we are. We're going to record the how to aim at long range. That's what you guys seem to like the most when I was kind of referencing some of those videos in the past ones, and you guys seem to like this one the most. And we'll go to how to win gulags and a bunch of other stuff as well. But yeah, guys, here we are. We're going to do how to aim at long range. Basically, I'm going to run through some of the old aiming tips that I kind of already made in other videos. And then from there, we're going to kind of go into the long range and other stuff because everything kind of correlates into one too. So this is all super, super important knowledge for your help. I know this is kind of halfway into Warzone already, and I know there's a new Call of Duty coming out relatively soon, but these tips really do go for every single Call of Duty. So even if you haven't started Warzone too early or you're starting late, and these will help the beginners, and even if you're not that good now, this will help for the next Call of Duty and the Call of Duties to come. So definitely give this video a watch. Let me know what you guys think. And of course, turn those notifications on, like, comment, and please, please, please subscribe, guys. We are pushing 50,000 subscribers. That is a milestone for someone like me. I've never been really that big into the YouTube world, and we're trying to grow it. So I appreciate the support so far, and let's keep it pushing. So yeah, guys, let's get right into it. All right, guys. So real quick, we're going to start off with the settings. Just run through them. Options. So this is for controller players. I will show you my mouse and keyboard settings as well. I actually just got a win on mouse and keyboard the other day, but just overall, I'm more of a controller player, but this helps for mouse and key too. This is super, super important. I played mouse and key for the first like 80 of my wins. I averaged around like 20 kills. I had a pretty good rap sheet with that too. So I know what I'm talking about, but I'm not on the level of someone like Huskers or Symphony when it comes to mouse and key. But overall, still definitely helpful for mouse and keyboard players as well. All right, so here are my controller settings. Right now, I'm playing on Tactical Flip, playing on Dead Zone 0.2 just because that's the PC default Dead Zone. I don't think that makes a big difference. I don't overthink things. I know I've explained this multiple times in other videos. I'm not a big overthinker. I just play the game, and then I play on 7.7. And now this is something new that I've changed that I really, really like, and I think this would help a lot of beginning players too. Basically, I'm using 7.7 sensitivity, but my ADS zoom, like low zoom, so when I'm using a lower zoom sight that's not a sniper scope, this is whatever 7 times 0.8 is. That is my aim down sensitivity when I'm looking down like a BLK scope or an iron sight, and then it's 7 sensitivity when I'm looking down a sniper sight. Definitely recommend trying this out. The aim response curve type is linear, and yeah, that's pretty simple stuff. Overall, I definitely think these are probably the best settings for controller. The sensitivity is all really, really up to what you want to do. I like 7.7. I've played on 13.13. I've played on 20.20. I've played it all. In my other aiming video, I definitely recommended a little bit lower senses, especially for beginners, but a lot of this is really, really preference on your play style and other things, so don't really overthink this too much. But I definitely recommend trying out like a higher sensitivity with a lower zoom or a lower sensitivity with lower zoom. Give it a try. I like 0.8. You can do like 10.5, which would be just 5 aim down sight and then 10 from the hip. Whatever you like, give it a try. Let me know what you guys think, but that's definitely something that you could take advantage of. It makes you a lot more accurate when you're aiming down the sight. So yeah, those are my settings, and now I'm going to run through this like the brief basics of the other aiming video, and then from there we're going to go and kind of show you how to aim from long range and some little tips that will help you. It's not going to be like tremendous crazy tips, but you guys have been asking for it, so here I am providing you the video. For the first tip that I'm going to talk to you guys about, it's going to be centering, and I know this was a really, really big tip that a lot of people liked in the other video, and I'm going to briefly kind of touch up on it. So basically what centering is the biggest thing that I see when I watch lower tier players or beginners or just not as skillful players that are trying to get better at Warzone. The biggest thing I've seen from those players, and there's nothing wrong with obviously not being the best player in the world, is just that their centering is really off, and I think this changes people's game so much. I've gotten this comment in my stream a bunch about how this specific tip has helped them get so much better, so pay attention here. So a lot of the players that I watch that aren't the best Warzone players, nothing wrong with that, is that they like to either look at the ground or look at the sky. And what I mean by that is when you watch a really good player run around, they're usually not running around like this. What I mean by like this is their reticle placement, the dot on their screen is at the ground. So for example, if someone were to turn that corner at that ticket booth and I'm running like this, as soon as he turns the corner, if I aim in, I'm shooting the ground. Where would he realistically be? He would realistically be right there. So immediately, I'm already at a disadvantage in the gunfight when that guy turns the corner, just because of the sole fact that I'm going to have to be looking at the ground, and then I'm going to have to readjust up. And by that little millisecond of a movement, this guy, if he has good centering, which most good players do, if he turns the corner and he's looking this way, he's already on you, as like on your body, and you're probably going to get melted. And that's why you feel like sometimes you get that first shot off and you keep getting melted or joked. It's really because your centering is just bad. When you guys are running around the maps, what you guys should be doing is really focusing on where they could be coming from and center your aim on that specific part of the map. So if I was running around the map right now and that window, I used this window last time in this video, it's a really good example. If I'm worried about someone in that window, I'm not going to turn the corner like this and then be like, oh, snap, and then go like snap up onto him, right? I'm going to do this. I'm going to run up and I'm going to have my aimer set on it. So as soon as I turn the corner, I'm already centered on it. And if I'm already centered on it, it's going to make it easier immediately to hit my first bullet. And Call of Duty first bullet is so important. So what you guys want to do is make sure when you're running around the map, briefly explaining this, is make sure you're centered on where they can be coming from at all times. So you see how my center of my aim right now is where they would be coming from at any time. Like if he came through that doorway, I'm perfectly centered on his chest. My recoil will go from chest to head. That's the optimal damage, and it would be the easiest way to kill your opponent. So definitely make sure when you're running around the map that you're not looking too high, you're not looking too low. And this is probably the biggest thing I've seen, like I said before, is people look too low. They look like this, and then they have to always re-snap, and that's kind of why they always run into the situations, especially in Warzone, where they feel like they're not getting the kills that they should be getting. It's just because you're not getting your first bullet off. And something as little as centering, where you're centering like this and just being able to get a kill at any time, is so good. One last example for centering is if they were top L, that's what we call top L in Pro Call of Duty. But if you knew there was a guy up there, when you turn the corner, instead of going like this and then like that, like looking up, so like going down to up, you should be doing this. Center around the wall. So if you see him over there, you want to be centered. So as soon as I strafe out, I'm on like the door, right? So when I turn this corner, I want to be centered like that. Not like this. Not like this. I want to be like this. And then as soon as that, even if it's a little off-centered, like even there, I wasn't even on perfect target, you're still a lot less of a movement to do that than come from here to do that. Something that's super, super helpful, super, super simple, and it should help you guys out a lot. All right, so that's the one tip that I'm really, really going to harp on in this video for you guys. It helps a lot at long range too, and I'm not going to go too crazy in depth on how to aim better just because I made another video for that, and I don't want to be super repetitive. And also, I really just want to get straight to the point for this video specifically. If you guys ever want to watch that how to aim video, I really, really recommend it out, especially for beginners. It will be in the description below. Go search through my YouTube. You'll find it. It's my most viewed video. I think it has like 200,000 views. Really, really informative video, but I don't want to waste your time too much here. I want to get right to the point and basically get to why you guys came to this video. And this is long range aiming. All right, so now I have my M13 out, and this is not my main weapon, but this weapon here is a really good long range weapon, especially because it has a little recoil. It's very easy to control the recoil. I know I do a lot of these testing videos where I show you guys the recoil, so I'm just going to show you this real quick. If I shoot this right now, as you guys can see, the recoil goes from left to right, so it goes up and then slightly to the right, right? So when you're using recoil, you have to keep it long range. Recoil is very important. What you want to do is know the recoil pattern of your weapon. So if you know the recoil pattern of your weapon, of the M13, it goes up and then slightly to the right like that, right? So what you want to do as a controller player or a mouse and keyboard player, this does not make a difference. You want to then pull down slightly to the left. So it's going to go up, so pull down, and then when it starts going right, pull slightly down and to the left. So just like this. Up, then down, and then slightly to the left. And you see how much easier my aim was basically under that hook the entire time, and it never went up and then all the way to the right like that. That is a big thing for all long range aiming. You really, really, really want to know the recoil pattern of your gun. If you don't know the recoil pattern of your gun, that's step one you're making wrong. You're never going to be consistent from long range, and that's kind of why you probably feel some days you're really, really on point, and then some days you're really not. And that's probably a main reason why, is that you just don't know how to control the own weapon that you're using. So find out your main weapon, whatever it is, the AMAX, the M13, the M4, the Bruin, whatever gun it is. It has a consistent recoil pattern. Get in a private match or whatever, even a Warzone match. Figure out the recoil pattern and then figure out the best way for you to control it. It's very, very simple. If you watch any of my loadout videos, I show them at the end of every video. So please subscribe. I promise you guys will not regret it. I'm going to be doing so many coaching videos for this game, the next Call of Duty, and any game that I play from there on out. I'm going to be helping you guys become the best players that you can be at all times on this channel, and I think it will help out a lot. So yeah, that's definitely tip number one for long range aiming. Try it out. Make sure you know your gun. And then once you know the weapon of your choice and what you want to do and how to control the recoil, this is the biggest tip to help you guys out at long range. So what I see in Warzone personally when I'm watching some players that struggle at long range shoot is when they're shooting, they're aimed in like this, and they use a lot of their right stick, or just even when you're playing mouse and keyboard, they're using a lot of their mouse. And now you can kind of get away with it as a mouse and keyboard player just because mouse, you can be a little bit more precise in my opinion. But when you're using a controller, if you're using all right stick and no left stick at long range, this is what your shot's going to look like. And please tell me, you know, be honest with yourself. Is this what your shot looks like sometimes at long range? If this guy was running from this side of the crate to that side of the crate, does this what your shot looks like? And you see how I'm like shaking left to right, shaking left to right. And even with aim assist, and people always want to talk about that, it's still going to be hard to keep locked on from that far, just because the aim assist obviously is not as strong when you're that far away. So when you're a controller player or even a mouse and keyboard player, you really want to keep it steady. And the way to keep it steady, and I learned this way back in my Call of Duty days when I was a pro player, is not by the right stick, but all in your left stick. So you really want to follow people with your strafe of the left stick. So when you're doing that, hold up, hold up, hold up. There we go. 1 second, I have to get more ammo. Oh no, it's want me all the way over here. Hold up. Cool. I was gonna get fancy with the movement. Alright. Okay. So, as I was saying, so when you're doing this and you're using more of the right stick, it's going to be very, very hard to lock onto your opponents and stay consistent. But what you really want to do is when you're following someone, especially when you're tracking someone through a field in Warzone, which is so common, or if they're just on a head glitch, what you want to do is make sure you're going back and forth with your left stick, or going one way with your left stick and then slightly using your right stick. It's more in your left stick than it is your right. I can't emphasize that enough. So when you're shooting, instead of following someone like this, like all right stick, what you want to do, reload, is you want to go like this. You see how much more consistent my shot looks when I go from left to right? Even if you slow it down, it's very, very easy once you get that recoil control, which is step 1, to follow someone through an open field with left stick control. I guess we'll call it that for this video, for the sake of this video. But it's something that a lot of players do wrong. And even when I have sometimes watched a kill cam of someone that's really struggling to kill me long range and they finally get me, it's usually because they're all using their right stick or too much of their mouse and not their A and D keys or their left stick on the controller. So I think this is probably the #1 tip for you guys for long range, is to absolutely make sure you are strafing. That's what it's called when you're using your left stick, is strafing back and forth or one way to follow your target. And then on top of that, make sure that you're really trying to barely use your right stick. Your right stick is recoil control. Your left stick is trying to follow them. And I think that will help you so tremendously. And you guys will watch this and be like, wow, I probably don't even do that. This is more for beginners. Obviously, more skilled players don't really have this issue. So if you're watching this and you're dropping 25 bombs, 30 bombs, you probably don't need this tip. And I'm surprised you got this far in the video. But regardless, this will help you out so much. Give it a try and let me know what you guys think. And lastly, I'm going to show you how important the left stick is for someone that's standing still as well. So in Warzone, you get into a lot of these engagements where not just tracking someone through a field like I just explained, but when they're on like a rock head glitch or a head glitch in general. So say they're on that wall at the peak right there where I'm aiming. Say they're head glitching that wall and they're using that as cover, and you're using something as cover as well, or you're just standing in the open and you aim at them like this. When you're on target, a lot of people, once again, use their right stick too much and they try and like control the recoil and like stay onto them. And you see how like shaky my aim is by only using my right stick there. What you really want to do is when you're aiming at it at long range specifically too, you want to go left and right like this and then use your right stick for recoil control, not just for tracking people that are moving through an open field, but people that are actually fighting back at you as well. This will help you so much. So if someone was on that heady right now against me, the way I would play it, I would aim at them, I'd lock on, and I would wait for them to peek, right? And as soon as they peek, I start going left and right like this, and I keep the recoil control down. And it's so easy to get so many bullets on that head glitch where if you connect 3 or 4 of them and that's all you can see is their head, you're probably going to get the down, and then you can obviously open up the map for your team. And as soon as the map's open for your team, your teammates can push, they can get a good angle on them, and so many other things can happen once you open up that down. That first down is so important. And if you can become that teammate for your team that opens up the map and gets those long range kills, you guys will probably get more wins, more kills, a higher KD, and so much more. So I hope this video helps you guys. This is just a how to aim at long range video. If you guys want more tips, please leave them in the comments below. The CDL's not going on, which is my other job of being the head coach of the pro team and the Atlanta FaZe CoD team and all that. I'm able to help you guys out a lot more. And we have a long off season ahead of us, so I'm going to be doing this a lot for every game that comes out and stuff. So if you want more of these videos, please leave it in the comments below. I'm thinking about doing a how to win gulags in season 5 next. And then maybe how to be a good teammate or something too, communication or something. I don't know. You guys get creative. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and I will get to them, and then I'll try and make as many videos to help you guys out as possible. I really want to grow this YouTube thing as much as I can, so one day I can become a full-time content creator and make even more content for you guys with more YouTube channels, more Twitch streams, and all of that. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, guys, please subscribe, like, Comment below on what you guys want to see next, and please turn those notifications on. I'm dropping videos daily, 6 days a week. We usually take off Saturdays, but even sometimes we drop a 7th video of the week then too. Shout out to my editor. I appreciate you guys for watching this video. Hopefully you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for another one. Later, guys.